as you probably have already started to see, the way that this course is formulated is really meant to provide you information that you would be able to look and explore yourself, and then be able to take that information and digest it and be able to articulate your understanding in assignments. So it's not necessarily I'm going to be lecturing and then you're going to be taking a test and just memorizing some facts. It really is being able to take information that you may not be familiar with and being able to really either spend some time to read and reflect, or to be able to get your hands dirty and to manipulate some of the technology that will be in this course. Now, this first week is covering just the field of educational technology. There are the readings, there's the video for you to watch, but as part of my lecture series in this course, I'd like to be able to offer you my own thoughts as well as experience with whatever topic is being covered in a module. So in Module 1 with educational technology, as you've seen, it stems very much from the Department of Defense and the need of being able to take information about very technical things that people need to do and creating an educational series to help people be trained to use the technology. Unfortunately, many of the innovations in our society are driven by the need to be able to protect ourselves. And obviously, we would like to be able to innovate outside of some lesser duress, but especially, in the military, it is with that extra encouragement to try to do better, to try to innovate, to try to find the next technology that can be used for the good or for protection. It's just that impetus that then has started where we are in our history in educational technology. Now, whether it be online videos, to mobile apps, to the different extended realities that we see in our world today, it is our then responsibility to figure out how are we going to use it for the purposes of education. Now, you have camps that are saying we shouldn't. That's not the intended purpose. We shouldn't try to make a Facebook for school because it wasn't necessarily meant to be educational. Now, you as an educator, or you as an instructional designer, or an educational technologist, or anyone in relation to education and technology will need to kind of come into terms yourself with that. So this week is also a way for you to be able to have some time to reflect on your own understanding of what education then paired with technology is, and how you would want to even use it, and how you would even want to be able to train others to do things or not to do things. So that's very vague, but it's because it allows for so many branches. So let's say you become a teacher and you become that person who's always so good with technology. Then in your school, you might be the person who is examining different software for a K-12 classroom. You're looking at, if you're going like what we did during the pandemic, going remote, what kind of technologies aside from Zoom can engage students, especially if they're in elementary school? Because we all know that having a 6-year-old just sit in front of a computer on Zoom is just not going to be the same educational experience as in the classroom. So the pandemic really then forced many to be very creative in the area of educational technology. Now, if you're working with people who are in higher education, you may not necessarily be looking for something to just keep people motivated and engaged, even though that's oftentimes the case, but you're also looking at ways to advance research. So here at the University of Florida, we now have the supercomputer, and we are diving into work with artificial intelligence. And that then comes with its computer programming languages or some of the applications that are being developed from it. So there's different levels then of being able to take the technology and then not just using it to be able to do something, but in our field, using that to then train others to do something, because we are about that education versus pure production. So that is, I hope that helps to then show what educational technology can be, and also what the difference is between, let's say, us and computer science, or us and just education in general. We are that gray area where we could go either way, but what we believe in is that we want to be those who become a bridge of the innovation that goes on in the world, but making sure that people aren't left behind, that whatever the technology is being built for then will afford more information to be shared and more people to have more understanding, to have more education of things, whether it be purely if you go into industry, to help people learn how to use certain machinery, to follow certain procedures. You have to have an understanding of how people learn. People like to use the term pedagogy, or if you're working with adults, andragogy. So having all these steps in the process will then help you become a better person in the educational technology field. So I hope that gives you some things to think about. I hope it gives you a little idea of where our history comes from, a little bit of the differences of what makes us different than, again, a pure teacher or a pure computer scientist or someone who works at Apple or any other major technological companies. And to be proud of even this career and this field, and to be excited too, because we have these goals. So, okay, all right, well, that's it, and I will see you all soon.